8 kilometres north of Wedge Island is Wanagarren Nature Reserve. In here are 15 campsites. The DBCA website does not give you any images and no real indication of what each campsite looks like. In this video, all I'm going to do is show you the 15 campsites. This isn't made for entertainment, it's just a public resource.
Alright guys, so at the southern end of these campsites now, so we've gone through the dune system, through that track at the end of the sand dunes. It's very tight. Yeah, it will scratch your car up, there's no avoiding that. So from here, we've got 15 campsites, and then we get to, I think it's Grey Road, joins back on Indian Ocean Drive. That is about 45-minute drive, just because of the conditions of the track. So I'm on campsite number 1, so I will be driving past every single campsite. I can have a look at them as I go. The website where you go to book these campsites doesn't have any images at all. Here's the mud map. 15 is the southern end, kind of where I am now. And number 1, the one I've booked, is the far northern end. There is some information here, basically just matching what you get on that mud map online. That's where we are, not far from 15. The drive to here is said to be about 45 minutes to Grey Spur Road. Let's check out Wanagarren Campground. It is only $10 for the night. It is off-peak season, that is why it's $20 in peak season. Still not a lot. You've got to be self-sufficient here in the sense that you need your own toilet. So pulling up to Camp 15 now, it's about 30 seconds from the entrance. Camp 15. Alright guys, this is Camp 15. This is about 30 seconds from the entrance at the northern end of the sand dunes, entering from Wedge. So I've got the car in there just so you get an idea of the size of it. And you got a little beach track there. Alright, so this is 14. You turn off the track and this is your spot here for 14. Again, there is a little goat track out the back to the beach. So this is 14, but 15 is only 20-25 metres away, so if you had noisy neighbours, that could get quite annoying. So 15 and 14 quite close together. I wouldn't say it's not private, because you can't really see them, but you definitely hear people.
Luckily 15 and 14 are not the norm, and most of the other campsites have some better measures of privacy.
Alright guys, so 15 and 14 are close together, and then there's a bit of a gap. I'd say maybe a 2-minute drive. And then just off the main track, this is number 13. Now this one's quite well protected. You can see it is a little bit below these sand dunes here, so you're a bit more protected from the wind. As I walk into here, I can feel that this would actually be a nice place to set up. You could set up your awning here, it wouldn't even be catching the wind. And again, same thing, you got a little track there heading off to the beach. So this is 13. I think this is the start of another little cluster, but because you've got these banks of sand dunes around you, even if 12 is close, I feel like you're going to have more privacy here. So 13 looks like one of the better ones that you can get. The ground's not exactly level, but you could easily make it level. It's all soft sand. So yeah, 13, protected from the wind. Can't see any of the other camps. It is about 2 minutes north of 14. Yeah, 13's a good one. This is number 12, and this is about 5 minutes north of 13, so 13 is quite isolated. If you want to be by yourself, 13 would be a good one to have. 12 is about 50 metres off the track, and there is a beach access here for vehicles. So you drive up there, you've got beach access if you want it, and then campsite number 12.
Just to the north of 12 is a tiny little hill climb. It shouldn't cause problems for most people, but it's probably worth having at least all terrains to drive along this track.
Number 11, it's a little bit closer to the beach. The track that we're on before heading north, it hooks left, comes into the soft sand, and now we're getting a little bit closer to the beach. This is quite a small one, quite exposed, but if you want good beach access on a nice weather day, this is the one to go for. It is right next to the track though, so that might be an issue for some people. I am regretting starting this little project because I'm in Camp 1. I could be there by now if I wasn't doing this.
Campsites 10, 9 and 8 are on a little spur off the main track, so you need to hang a left here.
So this is number 10 down here, and this one has some of the best views. But number 10, you actually have to walk from there. It's not a long walk. It is a little bit protected from the wind, but not at the moment because the wind's coming in off the ocean there. But you do drop down a little bit. If the wind was coming the other way, you'd be a bit protected. You got a 35-metre walk to your car. It's not far, but you can't actually be right next to your car, which could be annoying if you got your food and all that sort of stuff in there. Number 10 has the best beachfront real estate from what I can see. So as you come down the beach track, we've got this little cutaway here. This is number 9. Number 8 is basically the same, it's just down the road. I'll show you that on the drone. This whole activity is getting quite tedious now, but yeah, here's number 9. Number 8, footage on the drone, and we'll rejoin the main track to see number 7. Some of the coastline here is pretty special though. So this is number 6 here. Quite a large one, not levelled. And it does have some protection from the trees. So once you drop in there, you do get a little bit of protection from the wind. Now this is a side track, this is not the main track. So this is a separate road to 6 and 7. 7 being just here. Again, this is a big one. There is no protection though, but you do have beach access. But 6 and 7 are quite close together, so if you had a lot of people, you could book both. And just to avoid getting anyone you didn't like in the camp next door. So number 5 is quite small, and it is on the main track. So yeah, probably not the best option. Number 5 might be one of the worst ones so far, just because of the size. It's not level, and you're right on the tracks. It's not going to be that quiet. It is isolated from 6 and 7. At least it's not too close to them. Number 4 is the same as number 5, but a lot bigger. It is on the main track, and it is not very well protected, but it is a nice big site straight on the beach. So yeah, number 4, decent size to it. You can camp a lot of people here. If you picked a good day, the fact that it's not protected wouldn't matter too much. Being on the main track shouldn't be too big an issue unless you've got kids, or if you don't want to hear people driving past late at night if someone's late to the camp. But here's your beach access for number 4. Campsite number 3, very similar to 4, but not as big. It is on the main track again. You do have beach access down here, where obviously you can fish, but no spear fishing. So this is a really good beach access one. Not as big as 4, but better than 5, and we're getting closer to the north end. This is a really time-consuming drive. Now, obviously, I've been stopping at each campsite just to film it, but even without that, I wouldn't be surprised if it took you an hour to get from the southern end to the northern end, possibly even longer. It's hard for me to gauge the full-on time because I've been stopping so much. So here's Camp 1, which is mine. I don't know how, but I've completely missed Camp 2. I didn't recall seeing any sign for it, so I'll send a drone up, see if I can see it. So Camp 1 is right on the beach. We're just descending into it now. This part of the beach is definitely not as pretty as sort of the middle number campsites. This is full of seaweed. Campsite number 1, you come in off the main track. You have beach access, but the beach is a little bit seaweedy. It's not as nice. And here's your campsite here. So as you can probably tell, it's not level. It's a decent size. So there you have it. There's campsite number 1. And the difference in distance between them all is quite large.
Sending the drone up, I was able to see campsite number 2. According to Google Maps, this is 145 metres away. So you have a good bit of privacy in campsite number 1 and 2. Here you can see Grey Spur Road joining Indian Ocean Drive, and you can see how far the track goes back, even to camp number 1 all the way back here.